The school was created out of what some people would call a bad situation. My life took a very strange turn over the last few years. I was diagnosed with an eye condition called retinitis pigmentosus, which is basically a gradual losing of my vision. It's kind of like being in a room filled with 1,000 candles, and every day a candle is going out, and eventually it gets darker and darker until it's gone. When I was in my 20s and I was diagnosed with it, I was devastated. I didn't know what I was going to do, so I just still wanted to be productive. So I got into music. I figured this is something, you see Stevie Wonder and all these people who do things, that I could kind of still excel in something, still maintain some control in my life, I guess. I saved up enough money to study with a guitarist by the name of David Grimes. He's probably one of the top 100 guitarists in the world, an amazing player and an absolute wonderful educator. After the 5 or 6 months of study, my playing was worse than when I started, because I had to change so many bad habits and I was out of money. So I came to David and I was basically tear-struck, saying I love studying with him. I'm, doing everything I can, but I just couldn't afford to study with him anymore. He just took me under his wing. He trained me for 8 years for absolutely free. And we had the time to get to know each other. And that's one of the things that's very different about the music industry today. The public school system doesn't offer a lot of arts education. And if you want to do it the private sector, they've outpriced it for so many people that you really have a revolving door. If you have a half-hour lesson, you meet with the instructor, they tune your instrument, they talk to you for 10 minutes, and they're writing your assignment, and they're gone. They never get to just sit down with you and say, who are you, what is it you like, because then they can kind of cater music to your own life. I had such a great teacher, he inspired me to teach. So we had this novel idea that I would, I banked it myself, I created a studio, and we basically had teachers who believed the same thing. Based on that business model, we've been able to, sustain a company that operates in the black and still actually provides a service that is reaching someone.
Hi, I'm Melissa West. I'm the drum instructor here, and I've been playing drums for 17 years, and I really enjoy teaching here. I have a lot of really good kids, and we just love making music, right? Yeah.
I've been working here for about a year now, and I have taught voice at other places, but I haven't enjoyed it nearly as much as I've enjoyed working here. There's just a different atmosphere. The students really practice and care about practicing for their teachers.
I also was a student originally here. I was a student of Steve's since I was 16. I always found that the instruction was a lot more centered on realistic concepts. Things were very, very useful. I certainly try to emulate that in my teaching because I think it helped me find what I needed to do with music.
The curriculum here is no curriculum. There's not a specific curriculum because everybody's so different. Everybody has completely different needs. We've all heard stories about you had somebody who took piano as a child and they hated it because they had this piano instructor who just thought there was one way to teach and it wasn't about the individual. Some teachers, for example, what they do is they give an assignment. The student comes in and they get their material. The following week they come back. If they didn't get that assignment learned, the instructor will stick on it. Okay? And then what happens is the kid gets bored and he doesn't learn anything because he doesn't enjoy practicing. For example, I have some students who hate sight reading. Sight reading is reading music notation. It's a very valuable skill, but they just hate doing it. So what I've done is I've worked on ear training with them. I've worked on improvisation, and they're extremely well versed at it because they don't mind practicing. They enjoy practicing. As they get older and they get a little bit more mature, now they may be ready to understand about sight reading and work in that direction. We always stress mechanics, having a facility on the instrument, theory, understanding what you're playing, and basic musicianship skills such as sight reading, ear training, and trying to play something with a solid musical idea to understand the feeling of the music. The Rock School is probably one of the most cool and innovative programs we do. We take students of all levels, beginning through advanced. We place them in a band with their peers of equal age and or ability level. For example, I could take a band that's going to do a song, say like Sweet Home Alabama. Or the guitarist for that band may need to have played for 2 or 3 years, but the bass player only has to play for 3 months. So we can kind of incorporate with putting some of the beginning players with stronger players just because of the nature of the instruments that they're playing. And they will sound like the band even if they've only played for 3 or 4 months. And we try to get them when they're younger because there's so many bad habits you can learn if you're not properly trained in a rock band. You know, there's so many kids who get into rock bands in high school, they hurt their ears, they get into the whole party scene, just because that's all they know. They see this stuff on TV that's glorified and they don't really understand the nature behind it. What we do is we try to take it from the point of view as a classical orchestra. I am classically trained and I run a rock band with the same discipline and structure as I would an orchestra. We do sectional practices, so they learn proper techniques for practicing, practice performance, and then throughout the program, it's practical. I mean, they're learning what it's like to be in a band. They pick their band names, they do a photo shoot, they pick the material that they want to learn, they chart it out, they record their CD, and then at the very end, they go put on the line. Our recital is a real concert.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you guys ready to get this concert started?
The concert is going to rock tomorrow. What's going to happen is, you're going to have a dedicated entire staff who's going to spend till about 3 o'clock in the morning tonight, arrive at the facility about 7 tomorrow, set up all morning long. We bring in all the equipment for the kids. We bring in all the lighting, all the sound engineers. And we've done promotional things like they do their flyers and their t-shirts and CDs and everything will be there. When the kids arrive, it's really neat because the stage is all lit up, there's fog. They walk on stage, their instruments are tuned for them, and they rock out. The concert is all family and friends. We get about 400 people approximately. Kids go up there, they rock out for 3 or 4 songs, and then afterwards they come down in front of the stage and we have a large table set up where they sign autographs of their photographs for the bands. Kids will do, say they play soccer and they go to the match and they might have good games, but this is something that they remember their whole life. I mean, for one day, they really got to be a rock star. What I really want to do is I want a one-stop facility, a place where kids can come and study music, they can study dance, they can do theater, they can do martial arts and visual arts. If I can do it under one facility, one home, then I can offer it all under the nonprofit flag and keep all the rates down. We believe that if we can keep it affordable and we can keep it convenient, the parents benefit, the kids benefit, and the instructors benefit because we really get to create something that's going to be long-lasting.